When you're sitting down and doing an inventory over your life, I want you to think about what are the things that matter the absolute most. What are the things that need you, or what are the things that you desperately need? We're not aware of the motivation we have available to us, readily available to us. When we're in those deep, dark places, we need that motivation. And a lot of times we have it within us. I know a lot of people are like, oh, all the power you need is in you and so on and so forth. They're not too far off from the truth. You need those emotional triggers because, guys, emotion is energy. I heard from Tony Robbins one time when he said emotions is energy in motion. Emotions are energy. When everything makes you want to quit, those emotions that come from your anchors are going to give you the energy you need to keep going. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the FCS Prep Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Keith Fairclough, and here we are experiencing real change right now. Today, we're going to be talking about the applications behind finding your anchor. Okay, we're going to be talking about in the first video of the Don't Give Up series. We talked about an anchor, why it's important, what it does, what it looks like, something that's bigger than yourself, or something that you can't give up on, things that people are relying on you. All right, so these are your different anchors, but not everybody can readily find their anchor, readily knows what their anchor is. Some people may not even think they have an anchor. So today we're going to be talking about how to find your anchor. All right, that's what we're going to be talking about. And then what to do once you find it. So first things first, you need to do an inventory of your life, okay? Do an inventory of the things in your life that are most important, the things that you cannot do without. I think they ask like a question sometimes where, like, if you were to go to an island, you know, and you had to take the 3 most important things with you or people with you, who would they be? And so think along those lines. When you're sitting down and doing an inventory over your life, I want you to think about what are the things that matter the absolute most. What are the things that need you, or what are the things that you desperately need? I know for me, one of the anchors I talked about last time was God, but it's also my family, and it's also the people that I serve. Like if I'm not ready to go, who's going to help these kids? Who's going to be here with them? Who's going to help the staff? So long story short, you know, those are some of my anchors, right? And like I said before, you could have multiple anchors. The more anchors, the better. Like we talked about the ship last time. If a ship has multiple anchors dropped, it's more difficult for that ship to be moved when things get really bad. So all we need, though, is just at least one good anchor. So what you need to do is you start doing an inventory in your life of the things that are most important, the things that matter the most. And then I want you to then list all those things out. I want you to make a list. Identify what those anchors are. I want you to make a list. Hierarchy, right? The most important thing, obviously at the top. And I want you to just make a list from then. All right, make that list. Why should you make a list? Because a lot of times we're just not aware of the resources we have available to us. We're not aware of the motivation we have available to us, readily available to us. When we're in those deep, dark places, we need that motivation. And a lot of times we have it within us. I know a lot of people are like, oh, all the power you need is in you and so on and so forth. They're not too far off from the truth. And so that's why it's important to do this inventory and make that list and make the hierarchy. The next step that you have to make after you identify what those are is you need to start reviewing that list daily. Very, very important. You need to review the list daily. Why? Because you got to keep these things in the forefront of your mind. You can't let your anchors float to the back recesses of your mind and let the cares and worries of the world and stress and responsibilities overtake your mind. You have to keep the main thing the main thing. What are the things that are going to hold me down no matter what? What are the things that are going to pop into my head when things are going bad no matter what? One of my anchors is my family. And we're going to talk about the next step, which is about getting visuals. But let me just say, one of my anchors is my family. And so I know one of the things that calms me down and helps me to keep going is I have a video of my son. His name is Keith the Third, and it's when he was 2 years old. He was either 2 or maybe a little bit younger than 2. It's this video. We just got home from his daycare, and it was raining outside, and he ran out to the edge of the garage. He didn't get in the rain, but he started saying, oh, it's raining outside. It's raining outside. And he was pointing, and I'm telling you, it's one of my most favorite videos. It's one of my things that if I'm having a rough day or a rough time, it's one of those things I could go and look at and help me during that time. It helps me remember why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. Make sure you review that list daily. Keep those things in the forefront of your mind. Don't let them escape you. And that's just one video out of tons of videos that I have, and not just him, but all my kids, right? That just kind of keep me going and help me remember what I'm doing this for. Not just my kids, my family, to my wife as well. I'm not leaving them out, but just kind of give you guys an example of what some of those anchors might be. So review it daily. Make sure you have those anchors steady in your mind at all times. The next thing you want to do is you want to get visuals for your anchors. That video for me was one of those visuals, but when you look at that list, I want you to get visuals, and I want you to put those visuals in the places where you're exerting the most effort. If it's in the gym, if it's at work, if it's behind your computer, wherever. I want you to put those visuals in places that are very apparent, because I want you, when you're dog tired, when you feel like quitting, when you feel like giving up, you have that visual looking back at you. You have those kids you're trying to help. You have that family you're trying to help. You remember your family that you have on your back, your wife, your kids, your husband, whoever. You have them on your back. You're looking at them and they're looking back at you. If you feel like giving up, maybe it's some picture of God or something like that. Maybe it's a picture of whoever religious person you follow, whatever, right? You need to see those anchors, because that's going to start triggering the emotions that are tied to that trigger. That's going to be like, oh man, I can't give up. I can't give in. They need me. Or I can't give in because that's going to help me, or whatever. You need those emotional triggers, because guys, emotion is energy. I heard from Tony Robbins one time when he said emotions is energy in motion. Emotions are energy that fuels us to do the things that we need to do. Even when we feel like giving up, we have to be able to tap in to those emotions, and having those visuals are very, very helpful in helping us, because those visuals give us memories, help us tap into memories. Those memories have emotions tied to them, help us to tie in just our thoughts, and then remembering how important your dedication is, and remembering why you're doing what you're doing in the first place. Those visuals trigger all that. It's so much more. And so we need that emotion. We need that energy and motion. We need that so we can keep moving forward, even when we don't feel like it, even when it hurts. Very, very important. And the last step, and this video is actually gonna be a lot shorter than the other ones, guys. I thought it was gonna be like 10-15 minutes, but why not keep it short? Because no sense in dragging it out if we don't have to. Interact with your anchors daily, as much as you can. Let me just say that. I say daily, but as much as you possibly can. Create more memories, create more moments, create more opportunity for those emotions to be there when you need them. Because guess what? Hard times are going to come. When you set your mind to a task, hard times are going to come. When you're trying and trying and trying and trying and trying and failing and failing and failing and failing and failing, when there's $0 in the bank, when there's negative money in the bank, when they're trying to evict you, when you're getting those notices, when you lost your job and all that stuff like that, when everything makes you want to quit, those emotions that come from your anchors are going to give you the energy you need to keep going. If for nothing else, just to make it to the next day. Because sometimes that's all we need. Sometimes it's not about looking 10 years in the future. Sometimes it's not looking about, 5 years in the future. Sometimes it's not even looking to the end of the week. Sometimes it's just, I got to make it to the next day. If you can just make it to the next day, that next day turns into the next day, to the next day, and then the next day. So interact with your anchors daily, because you need that energy when things get hard. And guys, things will get hard when you set your mind to a task. Things will get hard. So interact with your anchors daily, or as much as possible. So that's it, guys. That is how you find your anchor. That is how you interact with your anchor. You identify what your anchor is, right? Do that inventory of yourself. Then you make that list. Make it a hierarchy. The things that are most important at the top, then you work your way down. Then I want you to get visuals for things on that list, and I want you to place those visuals in places where you normally go, where a lot of your effort is exerted. And side note, I know it might be a little weird to have a picture of your grandma with you in the gym. Just work with me and bear with me, right? Just, you guys know what your situations are and where you are, and where you can put those pictures to help remind you. Places that you go all the time. The bathroom mirror is always a good one. Maybe at your desk at work, you have pictures of your family. Like I got pictures of my family here. It's good to have those in places. So yeah, if you're carrying around a picture of if you want to, you can, right? If you want to, no harm, no foul. We did the how to be invincible, how to become invulnerable video. So no harm, no foul. But just work with me when I'm saying that, right? You want to make sure you put those visuals in places that you're going to see often so you can remember and keep those anchors in the forefront of your mind and not forget them, because those are going to be resources for you. And lastly, interact with your anchors as much as possible. Daily, as much as possible, multiple times a day, as often as you possibly can. If it's a spouse, obviously talk with them. If it's a family member that you don't talk to often, reach out to them. Talk to your grandma, talk to whoever it is, talk to a friend, pray, whatever it is, whatever your anchor is. Deal with your kids at home, or maybe if you're working at school or work with kids or whatever. Wherever your anchor is, interact with it daily. The more emotion, the more events you have with your anchor, the more emotion is going to be there, the more memories you're going to have, the more fuel you're going to have to draw on when those times get hard. So guys, that's it. Again, shorter video. I love you guys. Stay tuned. I have 2 more coming, one for Set Your Mind and one for Keep Trying. We're going to, again, talk about the application, because I want you guys to leave here with something tangible that you actually do once you stop watching this video. Y'all take care. Have a great, awesome, and blessed day. And remember, here at FCS Prep, we're real change right now. We're improving the world by improving you. Y'all take care. Have a great, awesome, and blessed day.